Well, hello and welcome to FBL Broadcasting. We are here today to meet somebody new, as they say. Son to Mr. Black Flag himself. He stopped racing 5 years ago in 2016. He's been marshalling since he was 16. He's also marked 3 different venues. He's 20 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, may I introduce to you Mr. Tommy Carter.
Hello, Tommy.
How you doing?
You're not bad yourself?
Getting there. We had a bit of a laugh off camera, didn't we, a little while ago?
Yeah,
so,
yeah, we did.
Which was some funny nicknames and stuff we'll go through a little bit later.
Yeah.
First things first, how do you get in? Well, yeah, how do you get into marshalling? That's a good place to start.
Well, 2016, I actually raced. It was a day I raced. So I raced my first national banger. And I decided in the DD I would let Terry take it out in the DD. And my dad said, all right, so if Terry takes your car out in the DD, you come and marshal. So my dad gave me the flags and I marshalled that race. And since then, I got stuck into marshalling. I've also done starter marshalling as well.
Okay, what's starter marshalling?
So, like, who starts race? So, like, Sue at Stansted, what she does up in the rostrum. I used to do that at Arena Essex for Rolling Thunder show.
Oh, okay. All right. So where's the other place you've worked?
I've worked Stansted, obviously, Arena Essex, and Swaffham, which is Stansted's away track where they use the screamers.
That's right. Yeah, we learned that last week. Yes.
It is, yeah. I've been down there and raced since the new track. I went down there and marshalled last year for them when the new track owners took over. So they asked me to go down and marshal because there's no Stansted on.
Okay.
So they asked me to go down there and marshal for them.
So what does it take to be a marshal then? What do you need? Because obviously, if we look at some of your photos, let's bring up some of your photos. Let's add them to the stream. Now, these are ones I nicked from your profile earlier, really.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's me. So hopefully this software will work. So this was the one that we used to obviously put out on the thumbnail, as they say. I thought it was quite a good one, actually, even though I
like that one when I saw you done it because that is one of my favourite photos with us, me, Terry's daughter and Aubrey just all there talking.
Oh, right, instead of marshalling.
Yeah, that was scrutineering. That was just before the meeting at scrutineering.
It looks like you're on the phone there, though.
No, I had my earpiece in. It was because I've got a different earpiece. I've got a sort of like a security earpiece, and it was rubbing the back of my ear, so I had to try and adjust it.
Cool. So come on, just admit you was on the phone.
No, I wasn't. No one loved me at the moment, so I didn't have anyone to call.
Oh, I bet you did. Just let all know, everybody, if you want to write a message, put it on the chat, and I'll try and ask Tommy. As always, you know, we like to answer a few questions if we can. So let's have another look at these photos as well. Let's have a look. We've also got this one. Who's this with? You seem
That's
to be
my little sister.
Oh, okay. That was all right. I was going to say, Chloe, you might want to look at this.
No, that's my little sister. That's Jenna.
And you said earlier that she marshals, don't you, or something now?
Yeah, she marshals. So she started marshalling for me at Arena at Rolling Thunder show because we needed extra marshals. So I trained her up and said, like, come and have some go at marshalling. And then she marshaled for her first time last year at Stansted.
Oh, okay. Right. Let's do this. Now, this one, thank you as well to racepixels.co.uk. Thank you for allowing us to use it. I was going to put this on, but by the time they got back to me, I didn't put it on the front page. You know, I thought it was quite a good one. I like what they did here. So
I loved it when I first saw it.
Yeah, you must have liked it. Yeah.
That was Purple Car Day in 2019.
Sorry, what was that?
Purple Car Day 2019, May of meeting.
Oh, okay. So what happened there? Is that just...
as I said on your thing last week, that was the rollover competition. That was.
Right. Oh, okay. Yes. Right. I see now. And
who's rolling there? I think if I remember rightly, that was called Chris who was rolling, and he rolled 3 or 4 times and landed back on his wheels.
Cool, blimey! Jeez. This is the thing. The drivers, what they do is just absolutely. We're going to that. We're going to that. There was you. I thought you kind of missing your car there.
Yeah, well, that's Jack Leeks, one of our best mates. We helped build his cars and that.
Right. Okay.
And his steering wheel snapped off, so I just took it and I was like, Jack, I think you need this to be able to steer the car.
It does come in handy if you want to go around bend. You know what I mean? It's not like drag racing, is it? There we go. This is you. What was it? Was this car on fire? Or
yeah, it was. I watched the video of that one earlier. Funny enough, he got hit in the back by someone and had a head on, and I was at the pit gate talking to one of the breakdown drivers, and all I saw was smoke and flame. So I just got straight on the track with the fire extinguisher and put it out.
Well, that's quite a good little start up then, isn't it? So let's talk about marshalling then. So you've got this car that's on fire.
Yeah.
And you're first, so mainly the first thing a person would do is run for the hills. Or get the camera out.
That's not the worst one. There was one the other day I put my Instagram. It was too hot to head on back straight. And I was talking to the guy who had it, Matt Armstrong. And his car caught fire. It was on the carburetor under the bonnet. So I've literally jumped up top of the bonnet and get the fire extinguisher under the bonnet to get the fire out. Because it has petrol, so it's just constantly live.
Well, exactly. I mean, is it not a fear thing? Is it just
it's just an
adrenaline rush? Is it what?
Yeah,
is
it's
it?
just an instant race thing. Like, just get there, get them out, make sure the drivers are safe, and get the race going again.
Yeah. No, this is the thing. We were talking about this earlier. I was communicating to a couple of other people about this. So when I put this out, was it yesterday or the day before? Yesterday, wasn't it? I put on there, and you obviously replied with, "Well, if you want to put me on, you can." I was like, definitely, because marshals are, it's like umpires and all that lot. Referees.
Yep.
It can't happen without them.
No.
And it takes a lot to be a marshal, I would say.
Yes.
But people, when they go to events, they don't realise that actually these people are there for your safety and also for the safety of the people participating.
I've had probably 3 to 4 meetings where I've nearly been hit by things coming off cars.
Yeah, I got to admit. See, there's a thing about obviously with the camera work. If we have people on the cameras, and it's a bit like, don't worry about the camera. Yes, it's like a £1,500 setup.
If you're in danger,
just get out the way. Just don't worry about it. And it's like if I'm walking to the cameras to change a battery, or they're just deciding not to work, just at that moment when everything goes live. It's one of those things you've always got to keep an eye on the cars. It's like
that's why. I'll always sort of walk sideways. So I've got the racing. I'm watching the racing at all times.
Yeah, so can we just say that?
My back's not facing.
Now, the thing with live streaming, and I'm sure people have picked up on this, is that when we walk, we don't actually walk with our back, do we? Like, to the cars. It's like, no, we can't do that.
No.
It's not that we're weird. We just don't want to have something hit us in the back of the head.
I've seen someone at Arena, funny enough, 4 years ago. He got knocked out by something coming off one of the cars and hit him on the head and knocked him out.
Wow. That's...
He's just had a massive scar on his head. He had to stop. He was a racer as well, funny enough. But he had to stop marshalling that for a bit just to get over because he had really bad concussion and that after that.
I'm not surprised. I mean, these are heavy parts that can come off a car, especially like
you've got your drive shaft, your lower arms, your springs, everything. Any of that can come off.
And that's what I'm saying. It's dangerous.
I've nearly been hit by a wheel.
I've seen them. I've seen it. Like you see in Formula One, for instance. They're tethered and they're all this and then they do come off. They do.
Well, that means I got hit by a wheel. I was covering pit bend because Lee wasn't there. I was on pit bend, and I think it was Junior Bangers. One of their wheels sheared off the hub, and they come flying. I'm just holding the flags. I'm looking up. I'm like, is that wheel coming towards me or not? And you're just looking at it like it's slow motion, sort of. You're like, is it coming towards me or not? You don't know what to do.
It's funny how the brain works, isn't it? Because that's sort of like, how the hell did you get out of the way of that? That's because your brain literally slows everything down, and you go, is that really happening? Like, I was involved in an accident in my mate's car, and it was like slow. I was laying on the back seat, years ago, and it was like I wasn't wearing a seatbelt in those days. I'm that old, yes, everybody. I know you're going to put it down in the comment. That literally, I bounced in the back because I was laying down.
Oh, wow.
And it was quite a nasty little smash, actually. But I came out without one little bit of injury. But I bounced around. But everything went in slow motion. It was really weird.
Yeah.
I saw this tree go like this, and then everything else was just slow motion. And it's amazing how the brain works. Ian Hardley just wrote, "What's Tommy's favourite meeting he's marshalled?" There you go. Hang on, let's put that up on the screen.
God, that's going to be a hard one. I've marshalled so many good meetings. You've
been asked the question.
Oh, God. Trust Ian to ask this question.
How do you know Ian?
Me and him used to have the same yard together in a race. He also used to marshal at Arena, so I met him through when I used to race at Arena, and he was my marshal. He was the one that saw me when I got followed in. He was the one that was straight there when I got followed in.
Right, okay. Right, I see.
But probably my best meeting would be that I've marshalled being the mayor meeting, Purple Car Day.
Right, okay.
I'd say.
What, because loads of cars were flipping over and everything, is that?
Loads of cars, it was bangers all day long. No other formula, just bangers, bangers, and more bangers.
Okay, cool. There you go. I hope that answered your question, Ian. So, lot of mentions about Arena Essex. Obviously, we had a little chat earlier. So, it's a lot's come from that place, hasn't it? It's a shame it's closed down.
Well, even some of Terry's stuff that he's put out at the track has come from Arena. His fencing, the fencing that goes around the tracks from Arena Essex. And I believe rightly, he also got the tannoy system. I can't remember if he did, but I believe right that he did get the tannoy system as well.
Ah, didn't know that. Or maybe he told me and I forgot. I'm getting old. I'm getting old.
Obviously, Terry being an electrician, he wired it all himself and that as well when he got to the track.
Oh, is that why it's dodgy?
I hope he's not watching.
Oh, I'm sure he is, and he'll probably pull me up later about that. No, he's a very confident. He knows what he's doing. He's owning his own company.
Definitely.
He definitely. I mean, I would have him kind of do my electrics in the shed, but not. So right. Let's go through another thing. Nicknames. So you said to me earlier, Waffle Boy and Zebedee.
Yeah.
So explain to everybody. So if they see you and stuff, they might hear people shouting at you with these nicknames. Why are you called Waffle Boy?
Waffle Boy as well. It's on my back of my jumper. So if I haven't got my hivers on, you can see on the back of my jumper I have Waffle Boy on the back. But my dad, who races now in the rear-wheel drive dirt rods, he's called the Waffler.
Right.
So it just stuck. He used to race in a team back at Arena called the Gigglers. They was all just having a meeting up in the bar after a good day's racing. They just said, "You're really bad at racing on track, but you half waffle a good race."
Oh, okay.
My dad's name stuck to that, and obviously me being his son, got called Waffle Boy.
Oh, you're talking about Mr. Black Flag, yeah?
I am talking about Mr. Black Flag, indeed.
Okay, yeah. There you go.
I bet he's getting his Black Flag ready and ironed right now and knitting it up.
I'll bet you he is, yeah. Like oh, precious. yes. We will have our time.
I'm going to be nice, though. He messaged me before and said, please be nice to him. So I'll try to be nice.
We're always nice to him. By the way, everybody, I'm going to have some of my coffee, if you don't mind. Lost my throat. And tell me what you're having as well up there. What's with Zebedee?
Right, Zebedee. I was at Arena and I was on the breakdown at Arena because I wasn't racing that meeting, so I went out on the breakdown recovery trucks and I was walking up the hill and I think it was someone from the old team. They just shouted down the slope, Zebedee, and that was it. Just since then, it stuck because I bounce when I walk, and since then it's just stuck and it's on the side of all my bangers. So if I have a banger, it just goes down the side. So Zebedee with as many as we can get on the side of it.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just going to try and bring up, see if I can do this as well, which was, give me one minute. I'm doing it very slowly because I could just do the wrong thing. Right, I've got that ready. There we go. We've got some pictures of you as well.
Yeah.
So where were all these taken? Your dad sent these through, is that correct?
Yeah, my dad sent these through. These were at my old yard. This when I used to rate. This was my junior banger team meet actually with Team Slow, which was with Maisie Clark, Caitlin Clark, and Lily Prime.
Okay. And how old were you when you did this? What were you at this
I
point?
believe I was 15.
15. Wow.
Yeah.
So you said you started racing at 14, didn't you?
Yep, at Arena.
And you've also, you sustained an injury, and that's why you haven't been racing for the last few years.
Yeah, like I said, well, the one that Ian actually watched over, it was at Stansted. So it was a wet meet at Arena. I mean, it was a wet meeting, so you lose grip. And I'm coming down the back straight, and I see my opportunity to nudge someone out of the way. So I've nudged them out of the way. They've gone through the infield, and then I've been nudged. I've gone into the Armco. The gear stick has dropped because the gearbox had dropped, so I couldn't get back out the fence. So I sat there for 2 laps, and 2 laps later, one of the other junior drivers decides they're going to come down the back straight. They get picked up, and out of the 2 choices, the Armco or me, the softer landing is going to be me. So if my car, it jolted me, and my back's jolted.
So hang on a sec. So let me get feedback. So they chose to, rather than the harder thing. Yeah, right. Okay.
They chose my car.
We've got a couple of questions coming again. Hang on a sec. We've got what's your favourite track to marshal at, by the way?
That would definitely be Stansted.
Okay, cool. Glad that was the only. I was just going to cut the
family.
You didn't say that, so.
No, well, like I said, I've only marshaled 3 tracks, but Stansted have been my favourite because of the way we all basically family when we're there.
It is a family atmosphere. That's why I try and help out, and obviously try and live stream and do what I can for.
Yeah, like I used to help Terry and Keith on a Monday after the track, like help tidy up the track on the Monday from everyone's litter. I used to go down the track on the Monday and help litter pick and that.
There is a lot of litter, isn't there?
There is.
So from a marshal point of view, if you see somebody litter, you're going to give them a black flag.
I wish we could do that, but I don't think it works off the track.
You should do that. Walk round and then just put the black flag, and then they go, "What?"
Well, we do now as well. I do as well at the end of the meeting when I'm helping putting things away. I do pick some litter in the bin because I don't go down there on a Monday anymore because I now live 2 hours away from the track.
Right. Yeah. You said about that earlier to me.
Yeah. I used to live in Romford near Terry, where my nan lived before nan passed away.
Oh, sorry to hear.
And so yeah, I've now moved up with my girlfriend, so I now live up in Hampshire.
Which is Chloe, which is who I was shouting out to earlier and saying, Chloe, check out this.
Yeah.
So that last question was from Dylan Wevo. And we've also got one from here. What's it? Oh, here we go. This is a good one from Freddie. Who's your favourite driver?
I haven't actually got a favourite driver. I don't choose favouritism of drivers. Like I said, every driver's good. Everyone has a good day and everyone has a bad day. So it's like one day you could be having a really good race and the next week you could have a really bad race. So I haven't really got a favourite driver.
Okay. All right. So, right. I did come off of this, but so this goes back to drivers. Is there certain drivers out there? So I said earlier about, when you jumped on the car and you're putting the fire out. So what sort of person does that? Yeah. Is it the adrenaline rush? But also it's something that you're just trying to save somebody, isn't it? Really, to be
it
fair.
Is. It's like all the drivers now have got their safety gear on, so their fireproof overalls, their helmet, and all that. So, but the advice is if your car's on fire, just get out of that car, and then a marshal will get there with a fire extinguisher and get it out and get it put out. But even though Terry doesn't like us using his fire extinguisher, we have to use mud instead.
What's this? Sorry, what?
Terry doesn't like us using his fire extinguisher, so he wants us to use mud instead.
I'm sure that was just a joke. If there's anybody watching from health and safety,
Yeah.
Don't worry, Terry. Got your back covered there.
Don't worry, we've got loads more fire extinguishers. We've got loads from Arena, so don't worry. We'll still use them and make sure we refill them.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You've got a fire extinguisher. You're trying to put something out. I don't think that's something that you worry about.
It's like I helped set the track up as well before the meeting, so I have to say the 25th I wasn't there. So the meeting after, when I was there, I didn't know if the fire extinguisher had been used or not properly. So I had to go around and check all the fire extinguishers as well when I was putting them out, making sure they still had stuff in to be able to do the job.
Yeah, that's another thing you forget about what you guys do. You also make sure the equipment's all good and ready.
Well, it's like if you turn up to a car on fire and your fire extinguisher's got nothing in it, then you're stuffed.
Yeah, well,
you've got to wait for another fire extinguisher to get there.
You got to wait for somebody else to turn up. I always think it's funny when I've watched the Formula One and they've got all these marshals around and then there's an accident and it's about 3 minutes before somebody gets there. So you see somebody running down there, and it's like, well, I haven't got a fire extinguisher. Have you, Dave? Have you got one?
When I worked at Arena, I was trained, if there's an incident, so a red flag incident, you should always try and have a fire extinguisher near that incident at all times.
Oh, okay.
But the first thing to do when someone rolls over is cut off the cut-off switch, which is then cuts off all electrics. So it cuts off like all their ignition and that basically, and just kills the car. That's
a good point, actually, isn't it? You've got to be careful.
That all gets checked on scrutineering. So if your cut-off switch does not work on scrutineering, you'll be going back to the pits and make sure it's getting work before you're allowed to race, because that is your safety there online.
To be honest, every car should have that, shouldn't they? Really?
I've seen a few cars that have had it in an all position. I've had to say to them, it can't be there, because if you're over on your roof and it's facing towards you, how am I going to be able to reach that from your passenger side?
Oh, okay. So it has to be in a certain location. There we go.
Yeah, so the driver can reach it, and so can a marshal.
Right. So it has to be in
the middle.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to put it like to the right. Just as you exit, you flick this. But I suppose you've got to get into it from both ends, haven't you?
Yeah.
What?
Because that is an instant.
Sorry. Go
What's
on.
that? An instant or a marshal is to get the kill-off switch straight away. Like, so if a car's on fire, you want to kill off all the fuel and make sure there's no more fuel pumping.
Yeah, but hang on a sec. Let me interrupt there quickly. So you've got a switch you got to get to with a fire. Yes, and you're not wearing a helmet. I mean,
the fire's in the way of the switch. You just deal with the fire first. But I'm saying if it's under the bonnet and you get to the switch, try and get the switch as quick as you can. Because there's normally sometimes two of you there anyway. So one of you can get the switch, one of you can get the fire extinguisher on.
So what's your riskiest thing that you've removed somebody from or had to do, or which we honestly, you've kind of walked away and gone, I need a drink after that because I'm a bit shaken, not stirred like James Bond, but
to be honest, I've cut a few people out of cars as well when I worked at Arena. I've cut 2 or 3 car roofs off.
Was that fun, sort of like tin opener sort of style,
It is and it isn't, because you thinking that is normally when you're cutting someone's roof off, you know it's normally a back injury, so spline or
Okay,
pelvis or
never
like neck
thought of that.
injury. So you all have to work together. So you have your first aid crew, then you have your marshal crew, and you have got to work together. So at a scene like that, your first aid crew sort of take charge. So they've got the spinal board. So they'll say, right, when you get this roof off, the spinal board's going to go down here. We're going to elevate them. Then you have to work all together. So you put one person will be in charge and saying lift and when to lift. So basically, everything's got to be silent and have that one person in charge.
Okay, I never thought of that. I really didn't. I mean, that's another thing, isn't it? Being a marshal. So when you become a marshal, are you taught all this at the start? Then is it, or is it something that you've picked up over years? Is it?
Stansted picked a few things up Stansted. Then I said when I went to Arena, I got trained at Arena because we did all sorts of training days. We had to have training days on the cutting equipment. We had to have training days on fire extinguishers and stuff like this. And we always had to have a staff briefing to say where each marshal was and everything at Arena. And then as well, some of it's just sort of you use your brain as well to work out what situation you're in and what you'd need to do. So like if thumbs up or thumbs down, if you see someone's knocked out, you know, it's a red flag straight away. And everything like that. So like as well, say if someone's knocked out and that, you always try and go to the front of their car and you hold their head up, because if their head's down, they're blocking their air vent and they can lose breathing as well. Yeah, and they can lose their breathing.
See, this is all the things marshals do that people don't even think about.
It's handy as well. Handy as well as a marshal. I have first aid training background as well. Because when I was about 14 or 15, I did a first aid training course. So a lot of that sort of kicks in as well.
Yeah.
And what to do. So like, as the first aid team ain't there yet, I can sort of hold it until they get down.
Right.
Okay. To get down, see, from the top pit. So like, if I'm on the bottom bend, they're based up the top. So we can sort of just take control until they get down. And then they get down and they take over.
Okay. All right. Okay. We've got a few more questions coming in as well. Hang on. Look. Ian Ardell's, but what did he put here? Marshalling is so much more than just watching racing and going home. # Orange Army. Oh, what's this? Orange Army.
Orange Army is, at some tracks you have to wear orange overalls to marshal. And it was just cool. We just got called the Orange Army. So it just stuck as Orange Army.
Oh, okay. It's underrated too much at times. Yeah,
there you go. They sometimes think the things we do, they think, why are we doing it? What's the reason? But then they don't see it from our point of view why we've had to do it. Like, why have we had to stop? Some people don't see from our point of view why we've had to stop a race. So like someone's injured, they don't see that someone's injured. They think, oh, they're just wasting time. Why have they stopped the race? But we've got that driver's safety in our hands. So do you have a go? Make sure they go home to their family that night.
Well, yeah, exactly. But is that where you can, for instance, lose your cool and go right, you know, and just literally have a go at somebody?
Well, to be honest, not last year, year before, we had someone get injured, and their family decided to walk on track.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. That's not good.
And that's a big no in Terry's book, everyone's book there, really.
Yeah. Even I know that.
I literally shouted at the top of my lungs, get back off this track now. I was like, keep it in the pits. We can't have you all on track. One, it's health and safety. Two, you've got no high vis on.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is the thing. You know, you need this high vis because if you don't, cars won't be able to see it. And even if they're just, you know, tiptoeing back, so to speak.
Exactly.
Some of the videos I've edited, the dust ball is just like, wow, man, you can't see.
Exactly.
Nothing.
That's why when the water badge gets put out, when the water badge goes back in, we want to try and get that green flag down straight away. Because that track, if it's a sunny day, so like today's been a really nice day. Say if we had Stansted on today with a nice sunny day, that track would just become dust. And it'd be like, everyone gets covered in it. We can't see nothing. The audience can't see nothing. In the lap scoring box, they can't see nothing.
No, it's not. I mean, on the cameras, you know, I'm looking, going, I can't see it. You know, you see the front of the car go past.
Yeah.
And you're like, go to the next camera. Oh no, that's got more dust on it. But
exactly, yeah.
It also adds to the suspense, Dave. Then that's why I love obviously live streaming it. It's you know, you've got quite a few things. I mean, there's also the stones and the stuff coming up into the because I don't have a windscreen. You know, I mean,
no, well, right. I don't know if you've looked on like I think it's mainly the dirt rods. They've got a window mesh,
right?
So in front of the window, they've got a mesh which is made out of just I don't even know what the. It's got sort of this wire mesh, and it covers the driver. So basically, no big rocks can get in there and crack the visor, hit them in the vase, or anything like that.
That's a good point, actually. You know, I've only just thought about that. So of all the races that I've covered, I've never even thought about it, you know, and spoke out and said, well, hang on a sec. Yeah, there must be stones and dust and mud. And
well, we do try and make sure no big stones are left on the track. So like even when we walk around, we see something big on the track, we sort of throw it out the way, like either onto banking or into the centre out the way. Just make sure the track's sort of clear.
Let me know, drivers. Is it like something from like Star Trek where you start ching 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 things just flying off, like you know what I mean? Just like must be. I mean, you must see some not injuries, but you must see some obviously helmets and stuff with chips in them and everything from.
Yeah, definitely.
Because
I've seen some.
Yeah, because even when you haven't got a windscreen, if you were driving down the motorway, there's still bits. I mean, I lost a windscreen on a motorway through to a chip from the after they've redone the road sort of thing. And I mean, there was nothing really there, but this thing
it's just literally gravel basically.
Just smashed the window. It was just like wow, the windscreen. I was like, oh well, looks like I'm not going anywhere quickly. Right, let's have a look. We got also, I think it's Chippy 541. Some years back, Marshall went onto the track to get people out when racing was going on, as you did not stop the race for rollovers.
Yeah, this is going way back before I was born. That is.
Oh, really? Who's Chippy?
I've never heard of it. I might have, but I can't think of people's names like that.
Blimey. Okay, cool.
But that's going back before all this health and safety went really through the roof. But obviously, health and safety had to go through the roof due to the incident that happened at Birmingham, like Terry said.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have health and safety as much as it can be. As I said last week, a pain in the butt. I mean, I have health and safety with all the stuff that I do. From wires. That's why we go wireless, because it just saves. People just tripping over. I mean, and also we use fiber optic in our cables. And for instance, we've done a netball, and it's really weird that some people are walking past, and you're putting stuff down, and you have to make sure you cover it. But you can just see.
If it was wired at Stansted, you could think about it, where you have all your cameras, you'd have wire everywhere. That'd be dangerous for everyone.
Well, yeah, it's one of those we can put. Obviously, we make it as safe as we possibly can. Yeah. But that's why we like to where we're at. We're right near. Like we can feed things into the wire and all the way around it. If we
best way to do it, just keep it close to the fence.
Which might be a possibility I might have to work with if things sort themselves out. Might be able to do the first race of the season. So things are.
Let's hope so.
Picking up. So that's all cool. So you're not racing due to having an accident. And then do you want to quickly go over that? What happened and why you haven't been racing for a while?
Well, that was mentioned earlier. That's from what happened at Arena, and then I just stopped racing due to it. Then I actually injured myself again a few months ago because I was working on the bins doing bin work, and I sort of twisted my back, and my back sort of just went out of place. And then about 2 months ago, I've now damaged my knee as well, my left knee.
Without even doing any racing.
Exactly. So it's all happening like since the season's been over. Everything's happening. I'm getting all the injuries as well.
And you're getting old. That's probably what it is it?
Yeah, I think I am.
Okay, all right. So you started racing at 14. You what was that? 2014 you started or something? You said.
Yep.
You're 20 years old. So yeah, you've had quite a bit of good going on, really, haven't you? At the old racing,
yeah.
And now that you're doing you're doing all the safety aspects of things. Does that?
Yeah. How
does somebody get into it? How does somebody start to become a marshal? They just turn up and say, "Can I marshal?"
Well, if Terry sometimes puts out, so say if Terry hasn't got enough marshals for a meeting, he'll sometimes put out on his page like, "Oh, is there anyone that wants to have a go at marshalling? You've got to be over 18. Basically, just have to make sure you have your common sense about you, so you don't run on track when the cars come in. You just make sure you've got your thumbs ups and downs and stuff like that."
Okay,
some other tracks just go through all this training procedure and that. But at Stansted, if I see there's a different marshal, I'll always go over and speak to them and see if they know like what to do in that really.
So if
they need a hand, I'll give them a hand.
So first things first, we've got the flags, haven't we? What colour flags do we have?
Well, a standard marshal, so a trackside marshal, only has red and yellow.
Okay.
And
so yellow being there's been an accident, be careful.
Yellow is caution, so that's held behind a stationary car.
Yeah.
And then red obviously being race suspended due to incident or used at the end of the race. And then some people, which include the starter marshal, me, Terry, and my dad, all have black flags.
Yes.
That's basically, so if you've done something out of order that's not in the rules, you're being black flagged and possibly penalised. So it depends how serious it is. So like if Terry thinks it's serious enough, he can load you up, give you some meetings bans. If it's just needs to be black flag for that race, so like dirt roads, if they've got a flat tire, they'll be black flag because they're throwing gravel up everywhere.
Oh, okay.
So dirt roads get black flags for that. And obviously if there's too much contact in dirt roads, because obviously they're only meant to be leaning to each other on the bends.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I noticed from Si last week about the the transfer of energy, as he was
Yeah,
saying. So there's different aspects, isn't there? So are you watching out for all these different things due to different categories? So for instance,
yes.
bangers is just crazy people,
Yeah,
isn't it?
bangers. You just got your eyes everywhere, seeing if anyone's all right. So if you got serious injuries, I think the worst one, I did see a bad one 2 years ago. It was Maisie May. She was racing in a Beetle, and I think someone hit her really hard, and she actually broke her arm in that meeting.
Ouch. I mean, there is injuries. I think last year there was a broken arm. Don't know what car it was, but yeah, the girl who, I mean, she was all right, obviously, but except for the broken arm. So she did pull
Yeah.
up. So there is these bad injuries, isn't there? That a
Yes.
broken arm is a bad injury as far as I'm
Yeah,
concerned.
you can get anything: broken arms, broken knees, anything from it.
Like the same back thing. So it's got to be a passion, hasn't it? So
It has, yeah. It's definitely a passion. It's you got to have the heart for it or not.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, from a marshal's point of view, you see the accident happen. Is there any that you can you can remember that literally?
I remember one which was at Swaffham last year. So, like I said, I went up to Swaffham to Marshall, and it was, I believe, it was back to basic bangers. So it is literally basically you just got a basic build, and you're only allowed to nudge and spin. And someone decided to pick someone up and hit him straight into the arm where I was marshalling. I've turned to see, I've heard the bang, I've looked, and his head's just flopped down. So he's been knocked out. So I got straight up on the bank and put the red flag out.
So hang on a second, Tommy. Rewind a little bit there, right? So you just said, what did he do? He tapped, he spun, whatever.
So someone's come up on his inside, hit his driver's door, and he's gone straight into the armco. And it's hit it so hard, it's knocked him out. So
when he hit them, he knocked him out, basically.
He's hit the armco, and it's knocked him out. Hit the armco, it's knocked him out.
Right, okay. So that is some force in there. So
well, I've seen it. I've seen his head. I've seen him hit, and I've seen his head just go down.
Is that the worst you've seen?
It can be, because it can sometimes be quite scary as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you think about it. Obviously, at the time you don't really think about it. You just want to get there and make sure they're right. It's after you think it could have been anything. He could have been out ages cold. He could have damaged any of his insides. Anything.
Okay. So how many marshals are up on the track then? How many do we have around there at Stansted, for instance?
At Stansted, so you have Johnny on top bend. You have Roy coming out of top bend, and you have Sue on the starter's rostrum. Normally, sometimes my sister, sometimes someone else on just coming into first bend. On first bend, you have Lee Sutton. Pit gate, you have Alan. Coming out of pit gate is my dad, and then coming up to the top end, you have Paul Macker.
That's 7.
And inside you have Aubrey, and then you have me just wherever I can be, just wandering about and make sure everything's all right. And you have Terry wandering about the track as well, and Keith wandering about the track.
There's quite a few marshals, isn't there?
Yes, yeah. And then obviously you have all your breakdown drivers as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, good point.
So I think they've got 4 recovery trucks and 5 of those Isuzus, if I remember rightly.
Isuzus?
They're the 4x4s.
Oh, okay. Right. Sorry, I thought that was some kind of special word for us.
No, they're the 4x4s. Terry loves his Isuzus for the 4x4s.
Okay, so do you get apprehensive about being a marshal, or do you it's just part of your normal day activity, as they say?
I never actually ever thought I'd become a marshal, to be honest. When I started going racing, I never thought I'd even race. And things have just gone on. I started racing, I started marshalling, and now I love it. I wouldn't change marshalling for anything.
So does your dad, for instance, when you first started, gave you a hug and was like, "I'm proud of your son, following your dad's footsteps, and this is what I'm going to teach you." Do you not do that? Like,
I teach him some stuff.
Well, of course, the Padawan becomes
It's funny watching him run down the banking sometimes. So I have to sometimes help him down the banking. He's getting old,
That banking is quite high, and I've got to admit, I've jumped down and stuff, and I'm like, well, that's a little bit further than I thought.
Yeah, I've gone like, come on, I'll help you down.
Giving away a bit.
I'll help you down. Don't worry, we don't want the old men injuring yourself.
Yeah, please look out for me. Because that's the thing. At the end of the day, it's when I start packing up, for instance, or anybody who's helping. And it is actually quite big, isn't it? Obviously.
Obviously, when you're packing up, I'm also packing up all the flags. So I go around at the end of the meeting and put all the flags and photo extinguishers away. So I make sure all that's put away and that gets put away and then ready for the next meeting.
Well, I'm going to up the ante here then. Well, I'm always the last one leaving. Terry has a go at me
Well,
every
actually,
time.
no, because last year I used to leave with Terry and Keith, so technically no.
Ah, okay. You win that one. Okay, fair enough. But there is a lot that goes on, isn't there? You know,
Yeah, definitely.
I can't say more than literally, if you've never been to banger racing, it's something you got to do.
Definitely,
Because
definitely.
my first time last year, thank you to Chris Avery for introducing me and everything to it, you know, and live streaming it was just like, I could see the family atmosphere. People are really looked after.
It is a great atmosphere there.
You know, there is loads of people, you know.
Well, before I started marshalling, and when I stopped racing, I used to help mechanic for the Clarks. So I used to go there. I used to help them unload their hire. I used to help them fix their cars, make sure they're ready for the next race, everything like that.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, there is a lot of work that goes into making a car, doesn't it?
Yes, a lot. Because I still help build some bangers and that now. So like, if someone wants some help building the banger, I'll go over there and help them give them a hand and that, and get it ready for them.
Here we go. Craig Hobbs has just wrote. He just taught him how to wave a black flag. Here you go, son. This is how you wave a black flag.
I don't even wave the black flag. Just put it stationary in their face and be like, "Yeah, your black flag. Get off the track now."
Yeah, does it feel good though? You know, if you black flag somebody, like, come on, off you get.
It definitely does feel good to know that they're now putting no more danger out to people on the track.
Well, yeah, I suppose there is that.
If it's something serious, then it needs to be a black flag, something serious. So like an illegal shot or something like that, then it does feel good to get them off the track.
Illegal shot. This is obviously whacking into somebody when you're not supposed to, isn't it?
Into a driver's door. A driver's door is a no, because if you hit someone's driver's door, yeah, they've got the door plate, but still, if it's hard enough, it can bend the door plate, and it can cause that to go into them, and it can cause serious injury.
See, I didn't know that. Well,
yes.
I obviously knew that if you hit somebody there, but I didn't know that.
Any hit that is illegal is from A pillar before, so anywhere at the body edge, anywhere after the driver's door, so from B pillar backwards.
Okay. So any questions, anybody, put it in the comments, especially if you don't know, and especially if this is the first time you're seeing all this, then, you know, if it is actually your first time, do let us know. Put it in the comments. Tell us if you're going to turn up to Stansted when they finally allow people, because the first race of the season, it is going to be closed doors.
Yeah, because even some other tracks were allowed to have open doors, but they've now been told by the council they've now got to go behind closed doors. Yeah,
I mean, yeah, this is the thing about the netball I'm supposed to be already been booked in for.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, I have to buy a whole new kit
oh yeah,
if I'm going to do Stansted, and I have to get somebody, you know, people to do the other event. It's one of those things where it was going to be inside, but now it's going to be outside, which
because then you're out, not inside a confined space.
And it's not that I can even get Frankie in there, really. It's one of those sort of things, and a power source. So when I go to Stansted, they give me a power source. I plug it into Frankie.
You're right next to commentary box, aren't you? So you've got the power source from the commentary box.
Yeah, I need power because of all the tech. I mean, honestly, Tim Shearer will be able to tell you, and his son Kieran, you know, they helped me out once, and there is a lot of tech. I mean, you know, this 1985 camper van is all teched up. It's quite mad. What do you people think of seeing? Yeah, put it in the comments as well, people. What do you think when you see the camper van there and it's doing what it's like? Oh.
It's like I said, first meeting last year, I didn't get to go to because I was booked into work. So I was watching the live stream from work. So I was trying to deal with customers at work and watching a live stream of banger racing.
Where is it you work?
Well, I've got 2 different jobs.
Okay.
So some weekends when I haven't got racing, I do rail replacement buses. So then trains ain't running. I just help people make sure they get to places because we run rail replacement buses instead of trains. And then every day, like I'm going out after this. Funny enough, I do deliver Uber Eats and Just Eat.
Okay, so man of many trades then.
Well, like I said, I'm an ex-warehouse worker. I'm an ex-go-kart marshal, and I'm an ex-binman. Oh, and I'm an ex-shop assistant.
Oh, same here. I've been an ex-shop assistant.
Yeah, that was my first ever job actually in a shop. First ever job for 14 till 16, so I was there 3 years.
Cool.
2 years.
Do you know what? Now you're making me feel old. I was about to say my first job was, and now I can't remember. I think it was mainly trapping.
Well, I was working there, but I was also working for my dad at the same time, being a driver's mate.
Oh, I thought it was like, you know, did he training training on black flags or something? You know.
No, that was before my dad even marshaled. That was.
Okay. So, do you and your dad talk a lot about the marshalling sort of world, as in?
Well, we just talk about, the only time every time we talk, it's only really about racing anyway. So if our conversation is normally about racing, so it's normally like, oh, are you ready for this meeting? What cars have you got ready and stuff like that?
So, okay, yeah, all right. Well, so he races as well, or he's given up?
Races. He's racing. Him and my stepbrother are both racing next week.
Oh, okay, all right then.
So my dad's racing the rear-wheel drive dirt rods, and my stepbrother's racing the front-wheel drive dirt rods.
Oh, okay, all right. Might make a note of them, or send me. Are you going to be there, or?
I will be.
You will be there. Okay, so that's all.
We're leaving mine at 5:45 in the morning to get there.
It's the drive. Gotta love the drive. I got him out the drive in Frankie's quite cool because I can't push you too much, so it's a leisurely drive. Got him in. Loads of cars on the M25.
Yeah,
looking at me in disgust as they go round. I'm like, not my fault. Look how old the van is. If you really knew what this van could do, you'd be surprised. So you obviously, is it your girlfriend Chloe?
Chloe, yep.
Yep. So what's she think of you marshalling and stuff? Because it must be quite worrying. I mean, I know she was outside, didn't she? Or she gone out now?
She's gone downstairs now because I think she's making her dad a coffee because her dad's on the way home from work now.
Oh, okay. Well, coffee. Good idea. Coffee. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, her dad works an hour away.
Oh, okay. So, but what does she think to you marshalling? Does she worry about you?
She's only ever seen me marshal once, which was at Swaffham last year. They went to journey down to Swaffham. And to be honest, she did love it. She did love seeing me marshal there. So this year will be the first time she's seen me marshal at Stansted, and she is looking forward to it.
Oh, okay. All right.
So she's only been racing 2 or 3 times.
Well, just watching. She's never raced, has she?
Yeah, she's just watching. Yeah, she's only watched Swaffham, Aldershot, and I think she's only watched Aldershot twice, if I remember rightly.
Okay. All right. And she's a designer, isn't she? That's what we were talking about.
Yeah,
earlier.
she's only just started up her own business about a month ago.
Ah, so what's the job? Do you know what the business is called? Have you remembered?
It's called Just Because.
Just Because. .co.uk, or is it just on Facebook? What is it?
It's on Facebook, and if you go through Facebook, you can get all the links to the website, the Instagram, and everything like that, TikTok.
What does she design?
So she's created my new racing jumper with my nickname and my name on the front and back. She's created.
Hang on, which nickname? We've got Waffle Boy or Zebedee?
Waffle Boy one. Today she's created stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Family means everything. That's true.
Yeah, she's created stuff like that. She's created names on bottles. So yeah, she's only just started up, so she's trying to get it published out and trying to get some sellings in and that to try and publish it.
Well, there we go. Done a little bit of a shout out for her. There we go.
Yeah.
So what was it called again?
Just Because.
Just Because. Right, I'll put that down because if she comes in, she can quickly tell us. And what she just designed? What she designs the logos and stuff and all wording. Yeah.
Well, like she said, if you ask her, she can sort of look at it, she can draw it, and then she can sort of design it on the program she's got in her iPad and that. So she loves it, though, to be honest.
That's good. No, that's great. No, I like it. I mean, especially with the way the world is at the moment. You need to come up with new and inventive ways. And
it's definitely different and better to our old job.
What was our old job?
McDonald's.
Oh. You say that though, but I'm sure the food was okay.
No, it wasn't. They don't like me there. I can't go in there. They don't like me.
What do you mean they don't like you? What you want to take in a yellow flag or a red or black flag?
Yeah.
There we go.
They got my food wrong. They got my order wrong, so I'm gonna have a go at them.
Yeah, but how did you have a go at them?
I can't say.
Oh, there we go. You see, everybody, needs to be treated nicely. I mean, I get
nice if you're nice to me.
Well, there is that, isn't there?
Yeah.
Again, I'm sure that something probably took you over the edge. Like I am literally a right diva when I'm setting up. And
you can tell how much I love racing though, because I've actually got a tattoo for racing.
Oh, okay. What is this tattoo?
It says racing is the way of life with 2 checkered flags.
It is actually. I've got to admit, the times I've go-karting and stuff like that, that visor comes down, I'm in a total different zone.
Yeah.
I love my race.
Like I used to work at a go-kart track, so I even get used to go-karting as well. So if I was on my day off or was on a break, I used to have a go on the go-karts.
I love go-karts. I really do.
It's just so fun. And obviously the thing is though, when it's a staff race and we sort of try and hit each other, even though we're not meant to, so it's quite funny.
I went on this stag do once in Blackpool, and I was the best man. So I had organised this sort of this outing and went through this company, And I was like, man, we got go-kart, and it was like, oh, cool, cool. So we walked up to this place, and no joke, it was like, wow, there were not very good go-karts, I can tell you that much. And it was like a family go-karting track sort of thing. And we were looking at it, and this guy looked at me, I looked at him, and I went, he went, please tell me you're at the 2 o'clock. And I was like, yeah. He went, I looked at it and I thought, they've booked this, and I don't think it's right. And literally, do you know what was really good about this guy? And this, I can't remember the name of the track, or whatever it was, but I'm sure if the guy's ever is watching this, he'll put a little message there. I thank you anyway. He went, look, go out there, enjoy yourselves. Just don't kill yourselves. We're going to turn a blind eye. Yeah. But obviously, if you go a bit, I mean, honestly, we treat them like cars.
I've done stag do's and that before when I used to work at go-kart, and so they can be good. But the thing is, I think it's lively. You'll be able to stop it and say, right, guys, you need to nudge it down to 1 or 2. It's getting too much out there. Like, and then obviously, if you get the odd ones playing about, they get sent to the pits, and then I talk to them, and then they behave.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier. I told you about that time again. Another stag do, went go-karting, and I got interlocked with this driver. Like, it was my mate, and literally it was like that. And I just tapped the back of his wheel with my front, because the start, you know what I mean? He was just going too slow, and I went around the bend, and he
was trying to get the inside, but it's like he's sort of.
And the point was, right, I couldn't stop. I couldn't slow down. I'm sorry. That pedal is not something I really use unless I really have to.
What is a brake pedal? Has anyone told? If I found out what that is yet?
It's a take my fun away pedal. That's what it is. So I've gone in and I've tapped, and then I've hit it because my mate has lost the bottle, because I'm like obviously there. So he's obviously slowed down, or I don't know. I said to him, even thinking now, did you touch your brake, you idiot? And I'm sure he said yes. And I was like, why did you do that? But anyway, I went up
when I was a go-kart marshal, if you're actually blocking someone's path and they're trying to overtake me, not holding your line, we can black flag you.
Say that again. If what?
If you're not holding if you're racing a go-kart and someone's trying to overtake you, but you're not holding your actual race line, we can actually black flag you for that.
Oh, okay.
Which I had done a lot of, because it's called sweaving, and basically just constantly sweaving around the track trying to stop people overtaking you.
Oh, right. Yeah. I had that with Metropolitan Police a few years ago. Well, I'd say a few years, about 20 years ago now.
that's a big no as well, because that's sort of taking the fun out of it all as well.
Well, I kind of disagree. That's a really everybody put in the comments whether you agree with this or not. Right now, I'm not being funny. Right, if you're driving around the track, and they move to the left, move to the right. The point is, you got to kind of.
I agree with you on the driver's side point of view. It takes the fun, but then on the marshal side of point of view, I don't.
Well, why? I mean, I'm not being funny. The point is about getting past somebody. And
the problem you've got, especially with go-karting, is obviously it's a non-contact sport. Go-karting.
Right, hang on. Right. Hang on a sec. Marshall gets driver here now. I'm not having that. Hang on. You're there to marshal, yeah? And I'm trying to get past this guy who's weaving in and out and doing whatever, or girl. Yeah, let's not be sexist. Why is that? I don't think it should be illegal. I think, I think it adds to the fun of it. I mean, the fun I had with the Metropolitan Police, and I mean, obviously not blue lights. I was lucky. It was on a go-karting track. That was for another day. Not allowed to talk about that anymore. But literally, it was. I felt knackered after I finally overtook this copper. You know what I mean? I finally got past the fuzz, and I was loving it. Even though I didn't know.
The thing is, from their training on the road, they can take that onto the go-kart track, so it's quite fun watching it. They take the training from driving on the road as a response officer to take it on the go-kart track.
Do you know what? I never thought of that. That's what, I mean,
my uncle is ex-Met Police, so.
So what? And he drives as well, doesn't he? Banger racing? Did you say?
No, my uncle does, but my great uncle used to, and I believe my granddad before he passed away used to. It was something like that. It's a bit of a long one. It was some people in my family. I don't know anymore.
So, how many people, right, in your family? Because this is the thing. I'm starting to build this image up. Everybody's been to Arena Essex, yeah, and it's like the whole family does something with the banger. It's like a total family oriented. And I don't mean direct family. I don't mean like, brother, sister. This is like, it stretches out, aunts, uncles.
Yeah, it goes out to your extended family, basically, yeah. Well, I said the ones that come, my family that come to Stansted is me, my dad, my sister, my stepmom.
Okay, who else? Aunt, uncle?
No, because I don't actually have anything to do with my mum sometimes comes down to watch, but I don't really have anything to do with many of them. But my dad obviously marshals and races. My stepbrother races. my sister marshals, and then my stepmom decides she likes to make cakes for everyone and that. As she found out last week.
Yeah, cakes. Like the idea. As you can tell, look, I need cakes. I need more cakes. Oh, I need to lose some weight. Actually, I shouldn't eat cake. We've got a few people saying, "Oh, look at this." What we got? We got Craig saying, "Waffle 176. You won't miss it."
That's my dad.
All right.
Waffle 176 is my dad. Craig lives around the corner from them, I believe.
Okay. And he won't miss it. We got. Oh, here we go. I think Smiler needs to go in. Okay.
Come on, guys, let's get built one then.
The thing is, I know if I go in there, everybody would try and take me out. There would be.
I might even come back out.
Hey, that's it. There we go. That's what I said. We've also got Ian saying, from a driver view, I think he's saying we don't like being passed, but marshalling side cause accidents.
Same view as me, Ian. Ian's race bangers as well, and Ian's marshalled, so we're both in the same boat.
So hang on, so don't like being passed, but marshalling side causes incidents. What does it mean by that?
So same as what we saw about the go-karting. So with the weaving, it's because Ian used to marshal go-karting at Lakeside and also used to marshal at Arena. Right. So he's saying about the weaving, obviously, it causes accidents. Because if you don't put your brakes on, you hit that driver in the go-kart, obviously it causes serious damage to yourself and the other person. But then from a driver's view, you want to get past that person. So it doesn't matter. You don't want that person to get past you, I mean. So you're going to be weaving to stop them getting past you.
Yeah, but safely, though. Safely.
Have you seen someone when they put a helmet on with go-kart and they forget this term safely?
Right. So remember I mentioned earlier, Chris Avery introduced me to obviously banger racing. So me and him actually went go-karting a few years ago. I think it's about 6 years ago, actually. And we in Aylesbury, quite really good go-karting track. Or it was good fun. You got an underpass and everything. We raced, and I got to admit, it was. I'm trying to put this into words. So we're underneath the top level track. We come around the left bend. We then go into a right bend, which then a little bit of a straight, like literally like half a second's worth. Yeah. Then into a long sweeping right into another.
That was sort of the same layout as my old track where I used to work for go-karting. It's sort of the same layout.
Well, we did that literally. I didn't take my foot off the accelerator from literally the second bend. So literally as soon as we had another mate with us. He was driving like Miss Daisy.
Sunday driver,
past it. Oh mate, he was it's just dire.
That's the only downfall about going racing on a Sunday. You get all the Sunday drivers on the motorway.
I'll tell you what, you say that right. I'll just quickly finish this last bit. Without taking my foot off the accelerator, probably the marshals probably should have black flagged us. But yeah, I weren't going to give in, and he weren't going to. Well, he did give in the end. Ha ha, Chris. And he's younger than me, and I beat him, by the way, everybody. So yeah, so you just caned it. But there was safety. I was like, I'm going with gravity here, and it's not my stomach we're talking about. And you know what I mean? And he was trying to come up on the inside. So I'm sorry, but you know when it's going to be dangerous or whatever. And so he did back off, and I carried on, won the day, as they say. But but so what I was going to quickly go into, and I said I'll just come back to my talk and think. What did you just say?
About Miss Daisy. It's like going racing on a Sunday on the motorways. Get caught behind all the Miss Daisies on your convoys down to racing.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, right? Since now, obviously, everybody's starting to come out of the houses now after COVID. So I've been using Frankie because I don't use my other car because, well, for a year it's not been put on the road really. So I've just been driving Frankie around, and it's been great fun. I mean, to be honest, I've had the whole road to myself. Now I've got cars in the way, and I think
like I said, because obviously I do Just Eat deliver Uber Eats for work. It's like you see it, like towns are now full in the evenings and that. Obviously, because pubs and that are allowed outdoor seating and that, and it is a bit like, wow, it's no longer a ghost town.
I tell you, there's massive change in the last literally week or two. Just the amount of cars on the road. I'm like, whoa, okay, now I actually have to brake now. This is not fun.
You have to find that middle pedal again.
Yeah. It's like the no fun pedal. Anyway,
me being a banger driver on the road, I forget to use the breakdown pedal, and I sort of go around the roundabouts a bit too quick.
Slide the back.
My driving instructors get scared.
Your driving instructor?
Yeah, I'm only literally, I've done my theory test 10 times. I still haven't passed it yet.
So you're not a full driver then?
Not yet, nope.
So that's interesting. So you can. I never thought of this actually. Yeah, because obviously if you do junior bangers, you're not going to have.
Junior bangers been the age of 10 till 16. So basically with that they get their racing license, and that covers them to be insured on the track and that for all liability.
Yeah.
Because like when you get your license, I think it's called a disclaimer. You have to sign all that and make sure, obviously, you'll put your life at risk. You could be caused to serious injury, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So basically, you need to know what you're going into, and you're basically signing. Say, yeah, if I do get injured, it is part of what I'm doing as a motorsport.
Again, it's dangerous, but yeah,
Exactly the same as Formula One is basically.
Well, any racing, isn't it? From
even horse racing. Like my sister, my stepmom, and my stepbrother are all horse riders as well. And my stepmom, she fell off a horse a few years ago, and she scratched all the back of her back, shoulder, everything from falling off a horse.
Yeah, horses. Yeah, I mean it's quite high up on horses, and there's a lot of back.
A horse, you think about it. A horse, they got them under their own.
Yeah.
A car, you've got control really, but a horse,
not
their own.
Not Frankie. Frankie's got a mind of her own.
Frankie's like, I want to go this way. No, I want to go this way.
She's not that bad, but that's going. Do I really have to go that way? Got no power steering as well, so it's like, oh my god.
No power steering. What is power steering? Anyone know?
Well, you see, yeah, power steering is good if if you've got a big thing like Frankie. But yeah, I've got a bit of a arm injury. I don't know what it is. I don't know how I've done. I pulled something somewhere. So not having power steering is a bit of a that hurts a bit.
Yeah.
But obviously,
like horses.
Power down or power a little bit helps you turn. But sometimes when you're trying to turn somewhere and you haven't got any power of streetwise or whatever, it can be quite annoying. We've got a few more people. Ian's put bang on the barbecue food.
That's for Tracy.
Explain.
That's Tracy, my stepmom, who loves to cook, and obviously I can't think of the other one's name was Carl Cook's mum and that, who likes they had the bake off and that.
Oh, okay.
So that's what he's on about, the barbecue food.
Oh, look, there we go. Sweet Dixie, yeah, I will make you a cake.
Tracy, you better make me a cake as well, please.
Oh, yeah, me first.
No, me first.
No, I was here last week. You weren't.
She's got my surname, so.
So then your family. I'm a visitor. I get treated differently.
No, you're a fancied in her family.
Yeah, but okay. Can't get out of that. All right. We'll go half. I'll tell you what, half and half. There you go.
Okay.
That's what we've got here from Craig. Says Tommy's dad has got me into building and racing.
Yeah, Craig pops down to my dad's yard and helps and comes down to the racetrack now. I think he done a breakdown a few meetings ago as well for Terry, if I remember right. He did.
I've seen it. Look, is he having a pint there? I don't know. What was it? It's either that or a bomb.
He's got a Stella in there by the looks of it.
Oh, I don't know. Obviously. Okay. Tommy's dad said he's proud of what he does. There you go. That's nice.
Yeah, my dad. Well, like I said, my dad's done commentating before as well for another track. My dad was commentating. I was doing starter marshalling, and then me and my stepbrother and my sister were all doing stuff around the track. So I was starter marshal. My sister and my stepbrother were both marshals. Well,
I'll tell you what, it's greatly appreciated that you do. Also, Sweet Dixie says, love working with him at Arena, commentating, and Tommy as starter. There you go.
Yeah, that was what I was just on about.
There you go. What we got here as well from Ian. Second out from here, where he was right until now. He's done well. Great Marshall. There we go. And Sweet Dixie's got Jenna wants to know who his favourite Marshal is.
You want me to say you? That's my sister.
Right.
Jenna, I think it's going to have to be my dad with the black flag.
No. It can't be family.
Can't be family. All right then. Oh, best Marshal that's not family. All right. I'd say Lee because of where Lee's actually based.
Here's Chloe, the designer.
Yep. What? Chloe, the designer. You're taking the boys out? No. Okay.
Okay, live interviews. Gotta love it.
Bye. I'd say my favourite Marshal would probably be Lee because of where Lee is. Lee and Aubrey are my two because Aubrey, one because where Aubrey is, but he's now sort of got more safety with the hay bales, and Lee because when it all does go wrong, they're going for him first.
Oh, okay. All right then. Oh, cool. So, who is your who really resonates more about getting a flag that you when you see them come on the track, you go, oh no, right. Better pick up the black flag and the red.
Well, I think my dad bullies all the front wheel drive guys. I think he bullies them all.
Oh, okay.
Because he stands at the big gate.
He
stands at the big gate while they're all coming up to line up with his black flag in his hand. I'm like, you're really cruel to these, you know.
He's stroking it.
You got Terry on the back straight who takes the black flag off Sue, and he's standing there with it as well. So it's like they come out the pit gate and see a black flag, and they come up to the start and see a black flag.
I haven't done anything. I just come on.
Exactly. we tried to black flag Terry in the water bowser as well before. It didn't work.
Yeah, I was trying. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, he's done. I mean, there's been a few races I've obviously videoed and I've put out on the channel, and I've seen them, sliding out. You can see there's like a lot of water there for the rear wheel drive, and even for the bangers. To be fair, actually, all of them. And it's like you went a bit over TTT with that one. It's just.
It's the problem is you don't know. You can either put too much down or not enough now. So it's like you can't sort of win.
Yeah, I think more is better.
Yeah, and he also obviously keep the race line down with the water, but he also tries to come out to the outside a little bit because obviously you get a lot of cars that decide to cut down the outside.
Yeah.
So obviously, but the race line is your main priority. Then obviously he does 2 or 3 laps on the race line, and then the bends he sort of circles around on to make sure they're nice and wet. Either him or his dad does it. Normally his dad, Terry's had to do it a few meetings and that.
Yeah.
So,
I think I released a rear wheel drive today. I think it was that, and I was watching it. Obviously, so this thing so I watch it on the day. Obviously, I then come through to,
Oh, hang on! My dad just messaged me. I've actually black flagged Terry, but he was racing my dad's car.
He didn't want to damage it. Is that what it was? He didn't want to damage it.
I think it was.
Cool. Right, I'll tell you what we're going to quickly do. We're going to, as he keeps on messaging you, let's see if I can do this right. I've just said remove. Right, here we go. This one. There we go. So
there we go.
We started there earlier. So to finish up with, any more questions, please drop them in and we'll get through them. Don't forget to subscribe as well. We've got some more questions coming in on whatever they're saying. What we got? No one's safe from Mr. Black Flag, Ian says.
That is very true.
So is this your car that you're... Oh, yeah, there you go. You've got your waffle on there, haven't you?
Yeah, that's my dad's nickname with the spanners above it, with the spanners each side of it. That's my dad because my dad was my mechanic.
Oh, okay, all right.
Obviously, I've got my Tommy C on my door plate.
R.I.P. Kev.
So basically, someone who raced in my dad's old team called Goose. His partner's dad passed away, who was part of the Menaces, and that was his race number and his name. And those little colours on my back strip were the Menace colours. So it's sort of just a little memorial.
Oh, nice touch. That nice touch.
Yeah, there you go. Right. What was on about?
Yeah, there you go. Right, right.
That's right. That one says, "I'm so far behind. I think I'm in front."
Ah, yeah. The old blue flag required. Yeah.
Yep.
That's your.
That was loading up. That was my first national meeting. That was loading up on the trailer, ready to go Stansted.
Your first national. Oh, right. I didn't know it was your first national meeting. Right. Okay.
That was. Yep.
And that was
after that. That was Terry's damage. That was due to Terry.
Yeah, Terry's not a good driver. Hopefully, a better.
He took my car out in the DD and decided to squash my bonnet. I couldn't get the bonnet open the next day to try and get under the engine.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mess, isn't it?
It still run. It got raced at Mildenhall in the January.
Oh, well, you flattened it out, or you kept the bump in it?
Yeah, we got it on the back of the truck and pulled the front out, and one of my mates took it out at Mildenhall.
Okay, cool.
That's my dad, my stepbrother, and me clearing up Stansted.
Okay, cool. Nice family photo.
That's the Menaces. That was the memorial meeting.
Oh, nice.
That was the meeting I'd done my back damage.
And you're still recovering from?
Yeah, that I don't know if that'll ever be properly done.
So right, so let's go back to that. So yeah, that's quite a lot, isn't it? There is So obviously the back's come in, and then it's obviously done a lot to your back. Was it from the shunt, or was it?
That wasn't the shunt. That was from when the driver hit me, who decided to use me instead of the Armco.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I meant by shunt. But obviously, yeah.
Someone else shunted me on just before. That was for a team meeting with, well, as you can see, Team Slow it was called.
Yeah, that'd be probably me if I go on the track. There we go.
That's me with the helmet on, and my dad took the mick out of that one and said, "Well, does this tyre need a plaster?"
Does it what?
Does the tyre need a plaster? My dad was taking the mick out of this photo for ages.
Why do you need a plaster? Why?
I don't know. My dad just winded me up, so I pulled off. I think I had a problem with my carburetor. It just wasn't running right.
Okay. Right, what else? This is your first go at like working out how to drive, was it?
Yeah, that was in my nan's back garden when I was about 4 or 5.
Oh, nans are great with their back gardens for that.
That was my dad's Sierra that he raced at Arena.
Oh, okay, cool.
My first meeting at Stansted.
Very first one, hey?
Yep. My first meeting at Arena. Well, it was technically my second meeting, but my first meeting because I stopped racing for a year before I started again because I only done one meeting. I sort of wasn't that up to it yet.
Right. Okay. All right.
And then I done that as my first meeting. That was Arena's first meeting I've done. That's me and my sister.
Does she race?
What's that?
Does she race?
No, she doesn't. She gets involved with the mechanics and that, though.
Okay.
She loves getting her hands dirty on the mechanics. That was a couple of days before a race meeting was raising funds for saying air ambulance. I can't remember what air ambulance it was, but you can see it was for an air ambulance.
I've done some things for Air Ambulance. Definitely.
Yep.
Well, yeah, big thank you to Air Ambulance. They do a lot of work. I mean,
Definitely. We've had air ambulance at Stansted before.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. So definitely well worth putting it up there then. They do a great job, obviously.
Definitely.
It's definitely, if you can contribute to them, please do.
That was, as you can see on the roof in Waffle Boy, that's just me and my dad just a couple of days before race day.
Getting it all built up, hey?
Scrutineering on race day. my old race top. That's Jenna. That's my sister doing the
the board
thingy for that was a world final because I was doing the pace car and just helping out on breakdown that day.
What's it like being the pace car?
Scary sometimes.
Why is that?
Well, sometimes when you're doing the parade lap and you've got people on your back, you've sort of weighed down, so your car's down. You're just like, okay, I'm higher than I should be. That was arena day after, just after we packed up racing.
So yeah, I can see arena's quite big, isn't it?
Yeah, that was quite a big track. That was the day we was getting my car sign written. That one.
Okay.
And that's me running to Liam, who decided he was going to put his car on his roof.
That's a great photo, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know who got that one. Funny enough.
Is that the last?
I think that might have been Dawn Stock.
Let's have a look. All right, never mind. There we go. So amazing. So a lot there, thanks to your dad sending us those photos a little bit earlier, which was all cool. I mean, anything you'd like to say to anybody about being a marshal or what, a thank you?
If you want a marshal, if you do want a marshal, and we do have places, come to Stan, speak to Terry, and I'm sure if he's got a space for a marshal, he'll put you out there.
Yeah, okay.
Obviously, we've got all our regular marshals anyway, normally now.
Look at those lovely painted cars.
Tracy used to paint the cars for us, so she still does. She's done all the paintworks for the Vanish Destroyers, all the old cars, and everything. She's great at her paintwork, and even her sign writing is really good.
Here we got Paul Carter should have that as a sticker. Okay, so to finish up, what I mean, obviously you're marshalling the first race, which is actually I meant to do something I forgot to do, which was the dates of.
Yep, they're going across right now.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so nice of me to remember that right at the end, isn't it? So.
Yep.
Any last words to say in regards to what you're going to make sure that nobody does on the first race back? Because there's going to be a few cars, isn't there? Quite a few.
Yeah, well, it said that track's fully, because obviously, like Terry said, it's because it's closed doors, he's able to use the whole track for transporters and that. So it's going to be a hectic. I think there's about 80 odd bangers booked in, or just over that. So it is going to, I don't know how they're going to run the heats, they can put them all out at once, or whether we're going to split the bangers, so do like 40 in one heat, 40 in another heat, or what. But just say, like, everyone behave and make sure they just stick to the rules. And as I said, Terry will do his driver's briefing and make sure you listen to it. Make sure you actually turn up to it, people.
Yeah, that's true. To be fair, I'm like just finishing off the last bits of the wiring and connectivity and blah, blah, blah. And I see everybody staying out there listening as they do the chat, at the start or at the end.
Well, because the thing is, though, if you're not at the driver's briefing, you do something wrong, and it was mentioned at the driver's briefing, there is going to be no sympathy for it. You wasn't at the driver's briefing, and that was told that the driver's briefing, you can't do it.
So what, you have a go at somebody, were you not at the briefing?
Pretty much sometimes.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Some of them say, I won't bother, and then get caught out later on.
Yeah, well, it's like Terry drives around the pits twice to get everyone ready for the driver's briefing, because he does it in the middle of the pits normally. Or I don't know if I think he's started doing it on the track now as well, instead of the pits. I think he's decided to get all the drivers on the track and doing it where Sue stands, so he's up higher still again.
Yeah, that's what he did.
But he's like, he has got a tannoy thing, like a handheld one, but I think he keeps breaking it.
It wouldn't surprise me.
No.
Really doesn't. I mean, yeah, he does get him into the middle, from what I remember from last year.
Yeah.
He does tell them all and stuff. And I think that's quite a good way of doing it in one respect. It also lets me see how many are there. So there's quite a few.
A few tracks do it now, though. Swarthmore does that as well. Brings everyone into the centre and does the briefing there now. I think it's just better than so they're not in their cars. They ain't going to be fucking about their cars and stuff like that. So you ain't going to have the noise, cars, engine noises, and that. You can actually hear Terry speaking.
Do you know what when I see that happening, do you know what I'm thinking?
Go on.
I've got 10 minutes, man, to get this all working. Oh my God, how am I going to do it?
How do you think our sponsors are feeling when we see it's happening? We're like, right, what are we doing today? I forgot.
Oh, what am I supposed to? Yeah.
What are we here for?
I see him standing there and I go, oh no, I'm running out of time. You know,
It's like when cause normally the first race is always real drive dirt race, so we see a real drive dirt race coming up, and we're like, right, we should really get to where we should be.
Yeah, probably a good idea. Have you ever had that then when you've not been in position and they're waiting?
Well, I said, if they've got enough marshals, I normally just help around the track, like just walk around the track, so I can just run across to the track to get to an incident. But I've had sometimes marshals
don't run over, don't run across the track.
Well, like Jamie says, I've either read the highway code about the green crossing code. No, I haven't. I can't read.
There you go. Well, have it. Sorry, I looked at it. There was no pictures. Move on.
Exactly. Which was I always have my eyes and my ears open anyway. Like I said, I'm really good at judging because I've been doing it so long now. So I was judging, and make sure I can get there. Obviously, yeah, drive safety is parallel, but as well your safety is parallel as well.
Yeah. I mean, like we were saying earlier, you know, literally when I'm walking back, or you know, I could run, for instance, to a camera. Not that you'd want to see me run because it might.
I need Stansted back. Sometimes put weight on. I need the Stansted gym back.
Yeah, Stansted gym.
Lifting the cars back over from rolling over and running about.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. All right. I mean, yeah. Is there any time particularly when there's been a lot of rollovers, except for if it was part of the day?
Micro bangers are the ones that normally roll over the most because they're so light. So it's like if you hit the pit and bend and you get nice, you're rolling over basically.
I got when you see a rollover. I think I don't know what race it was, but there was a driver. He literally just come about and then he just literally goes for somebody else.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody could put it on the comments.
I watched that one earlier.
And he rolls over, and it was I just
rolled 3 or 4 times.
I don't know if
that was the 16th. I think that was the 6th of September.
Oh, okay. I'm glad someone.
I watched that one earlier today.
Oh, there you go. Well, which ones haven't you watched then?
I've watched all the bangers and all the junior bangers.
Okay. Does anybody out there watch all of them? There you go. There's a quick question. And do they like that I'm doing this heat by heat? I mean, it does break up. We do the thing with the subscription and stuff, but you know, we usually put one out at least one every 2 days.
Yeah, I've noticed that. It's really good because I get the notification as well, or alarm on my phone for whenever it posts. So I get the notification whenever it gets posted.
Oh, I like sending out the notifications. Yes, definitely. It works well with our figures as well. It's all good. Yep. Well, it's been an amazing chat, and it's great talking to you. And obviously, we look forward to hopefully seeing you.
Fingers crossed.
On the 25th. But again, still don't know yet, people. As soon as I know for definite, I will put something out there so that you can wait at last. But it will be a pay-per-view event. Unless somebody wants to sponsor it for 500 quid. There we go.
People, go and get your wallets out.
Yeah, try and get it. Well, that's the idea about the subscription thing. It's something where, you know, I think one of them we did, I think we asked for donations and it was like
£7.
We got £7.50 that I got £7.50 that weekend, and it was like
that was the first one, I believe, that you've done that.
The first one, no, Terry paid for the first 3, I think. And then after that, I think the first one we got X amount. I think
I remember it because my dad wasn't there one meet, and he paid for it because he watched it from home because he damaged his leg at work, so he couldn't get there, so he was watching it from home.
See, that's the thing. I keep on forgetting about. You know, I think that you're all there, but actually, there's things that stop you from being there, isn't there? So the live streaming definitely comes in handy for that.
Definitely, which, like I said, because of the dates, I've now made sure I'm booked for all the dates. I'm booked for Stansted this year.
I can honestly say that the booking dates is the interesting one because obviously I've got things.
Terry's not put any formulas out for each of the date because obviously with COVID, you don't know what's going on. So it's like everything's just pending and depending on COVID situations. Yeah,
well, that's the problem I've had with the E&G. I mean, I do a lot of work with them, and you know, they worked with me for years, and they got their dates in straight away. But it seems like everybody seems to have been. I think it's because of COVID. Everybody seems to be aligning because I kind of wanted it 1 week them, 1 week Stansted, 1 week them, and it would have worked out all nicely. But they all came in.
Yeah, when I used to work at Arena and Stansted, it was like some weeks they'd clash, and I'd always choose Stansted over Arena. So Arena ended up stopping me marshalling, but lucky enough, I knew the track manager. He said, "Right, because I know you do Stansted, if you want, when you're not at Stansted, you'll come down here, just help me out. So obviously, help me get the track ready, help make sure the tractor's all up and running, the Merlot, just make sure the track's all like safety, like all your uncos, make sure it's all safe, and just help with the pit parking, basically." So he said, "You're still involved with the track."
Oh, cool. I mean, again, I'd like to thank you and all the other marshals out there for all the hard work.
Yeah, thank you to everyone that works there. Paul, my dad, Johnny, Lee, Alan, Roy, Susan, Sue, Aubrey, even the commentary box and all the burger van girls.
Yeah, they all work hard and stuff, and make sure that we've all got food and stuff. And
Yeah, all the breakdown drivers, all the drivers, especially without the drivers, they went with marshals.
There you go. Good point. That's a very good point. But like you say, a lot goes in to just make sure that people can have some fun, isn't it?
There's a lot of preparation as well into it. Like make sure the marshals know what they're doing. Like I said, all the marshals at Stansted all have the same position every week, so it's not like we have to say, "Oh, you got to go here now," or "You got to go there."
Oh, okay.
No, everyone's in the same position every week, pretty much. Unless someone's missing, then it sort of gets a bit moved about.
Oh, okay.
Right. Pretty much, if everyone's there, everyone's in the same position.
Okay.
Even the breakdown drivers, if it's the same breakdown drivers, they've always got the same truck normally.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, it takes a lot, doesn't it? It does take a lot to get it's all going. So, how many people you mentioned so far? What? You're probably talking about 30, aren't you? Really?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, you've got Terry and his family, you've got the burger van, you've got all the marshals and all the breakdown drivers.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a hell of a lot. But again, a big shout out to the marshal people, because I do know you do risk your lives. You do a lot, and you do make sure people stay safe, or you try and get them into safety. That's one thing.
Especially now with the new rules for health safety, the drivers are not allowed to get out of the car at all now until the race is over. Like, make sure the drivers stay in their car and that now as well. Yeah,
that's another thing, isn't it? You got to stay in there. I know drivers don't like that, do they? They don't like. Oh, no, I want to get out.
Especially on a hot day. So, like in the summer when we race and it's really hot, they're under the ovals and that. I know it gets hot and you do get a bit annoyed, but we've got to think about your safety now, especially after what happened at Birmingham. We've got to think about it even higher now after that incident.
Yeah, we know. Again, we just want to have fun. Don't want people to die out there.
We want to have fun. We want you to go home to your loved ones at the end of the day and be able to go back to work the next day.
Yeah, definitely. So, agree.
Yeah.
Well, as always, like I just said, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And don't forget, you can still comment and everything. And I'm sure if we get anything interesting, Tommy will reply back, won't you, Tommy?
Yeah, I'm sure. And if you want to speak to me at Stansted on the 25th about anything, come over and say hi.
Well, I can't do that because I'll be too busy doing the live stream.
Well, I can say hi to you though when I walk past the van to go get my ice cream.
And I'll be there going, ice cream. I'm stuck in front of the screen. Maybe I could text them. Can you deliver to the van, please? There we go. The new in-app. There we go. Ice cream to camper van number 1. Thank you. There you go. Job done. Sorry, couldn't resist. Okay. Once again, thank you very much, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the 5th.
Yep. Thank you to you too.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for watching.
Bye, everyone.